Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all of you from around the world. Welcome to the final match of the finals week of the OS World Cup 2024. We have got a stellar lineup for you here today. We have got 3 places in the grand finals. 2 of them have already been decided. Of course, we have room for but 1 more. My name is Dimash, and of course, joining me is the ever so lovely Sadshiba and Doomsday. But we'll start with Sadshiba. How are you doing?
Hello. This is a special rare occasion, isn't it, Dammy? We don't usually get tricasts in finals weekend often, so this is a pretty special opportunity here. But Australia, Germany. I mean, I think these 2 teams, despite not having much history together, only having played a couple times over the span of about 4 to 5 World Cups, doesn't change the fact that both these teams are kind of insane, especially with how much Australia has improved as a team and how much Germany have stepped up this weekend in particular, upsetting. I mean, some people believe they're upset, some don't, but I believe so. Taking down the UK in not only just beating them alone, but beating them in pretty good fashion with incredible form from some of their individual players. This has the potential to be a really exciting matchup, and something that I'm really curious about, because I feel like Germany are going to have to change things up a lot more from what we usually expect. So really curious for what goes down in this one. What do you think, Doomsday? What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, I'm just going to step in, because I do want to talk about these teams a little bit more before we get into the map pool. But we've got to be quick, because the band's coming in thick and fast. I do want to say that particularly you're looking out for those 2 duos of Emmerich in a secret box and Krilla versus Whitecat. These 2 players for their respective teams have been pinnacle to their success, especially in their matchups yesterday. I mean, Emmerich getting insane match costs across multiple different formulas. Played exceptionally well with incredibly high averages, so looking like the standout player in this matchup. But again, you can't count out that duo of Krilla and Whitecat. We've seen what they've done over the years and the damage they've caused, but I'm really excited to get into this. But we'll start off with the bans. We'll start off with Australia banning into free mod 3. And Germany coming in with bans on DT3 and free mod 2, which are very interesting. But
these bans pretty solid so far. You got the free mod 2 ban here from Germany. Seemingly a little bit afraid of the rhythmic ability here from Australia, which is valid. It makes a little bit of sense here. I think Australia, always known to be a bit deceptively well-rounded, right? And I think this free mod 2 is not an exception. They've had some very strong individual scores last time they played this against Russia, most particularly here from Emmerich and Box, who yesterday set a 900k from Emmerich and 600k from a secret box respectively. And Germany this time now afterwards going with the DT3 ban, which I think makes way more sense. This is a deceptively difficult map for Germany, unfortunately. A lot of people think Germany can keep up with the best of the best on speed, but this time it's a little too much for them, so they know Australia are going to try and abuse that raw speed, and that's why Blue Knight's been banned. For Australia, no mod 3 and free mod 3, similar patterns in some degree. One is a swing alt control, and the other one is a low AR precision heavy anti-mod map. And again, in both regards, Germany have shown really good proficiency on these, most definitely with Krilla, who is 100% the man to look out for Germany, to be the big catalyst to give Germany as many points as they can against this Australian team.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, really, especially with that free mod 2. I don't think the modded players are quite as capable as the German roster. They definitely needed a better performance to feel safe picking into that. But Australia, no surprises here. Going to be starting things off with the DT2. It's Poppy Poe. Got a bit of Hatsune Miku.
DT2 starting this off already. This one, a pretty solid one, a pretty solid opening pick here for Australia. Once again, this was also picked between them and Russia, but surprisingly, they actually did lose this one against Russia yesterday. but not too high margins. It was 288k, but it was off of the back of a really strong full combo there from Draconi. Outside of that, the collective scores here from Australia were really solid. 700k from MREX, 626k from Box, and the rest of Australia as well, decently solid here. Germany also had high scores, particularly actually a higher team score than Australia last time played. So you may see this as a bit of a questionable pick, and with the stats showing it, it's a little uncertain, but I can imagine Australia know what they're doing, and maybe they've pulled a little surprise from their sleeves.
Yo.
Doomsday.
Hello, I am here, back from opening door hell. Yeah, how's it going, everyone? I'm not against Australia picking this because they always pick speed. They are the speed team. I don't blame them sticking to their strengths. With it being a bit more, I guess, with that control element, it does make it maybe a bit better for Germany, and they can definitely compete, of course, because they had the top score last time. But I think Australia can high roll more than what they had last time. They relied on Emmerich getting like a 700k on that one. Atkins and Secret Box did well last time, but you can never doubt Australia on speed, man. It's the last time I will ever doubt Australia on speed after seeing what they did to the UK, man.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, right? That's the scary thing about this. Both teams so capable. Good luck, have funds being exchanged. Rosters also locked in here from both sides as the map is just about to start. Emrek, Zintax, Atkins, and a Secret Box here for Australia. Their signature tapping mechanics roster. I think nobody is going to be looking at this Australia team without a little bit of fear striking through their spine. But Germany also do have a really solid lineup here. Okinama, Krilla, Zyfrost, and Whitecat. Okinama and Zyfrost in particular being more specialized with the tapping, but Krilla and Whitecat practically able to play anything that isn't too far deranged in the speed category. This one, though, is still very, very difficult, but definitely the ball game of both of these players. So let's get our finals match started here for the OS World Cup weekend in the final stage. Again, man, Australia, Germany, capable of being very, very close. And so the excitement is there, the hype is there. Who dares to claim that final spot in the podium for bronze? Here we go into DT2. I mean, already a few early misses here from quite a few players here. Whitecat being the only full combo left standing here for Germany, especially with a few act drops early on. 3 B ranks here from Germany in Krilla, Okinama, and Zyfrost. But Australia do also have a lot of misses, a bit more scattered, but the recovery's in their favor, especially with that double miss there from Germany.
Yeah, at the moment, Australia just bedding into it. One of these first burst sections with doubles and the quads all coming in at the moment. Nice recoveries there on the side of Australia. Some of the players on Germany struggling a bit. Zyfrost coming in, actually swapping out for Yari, who played this last time, who did get a B there. Zyfrost filling in for him this time. But at the moment, looks like a bit of a team difference. Emmerich, of course, doing Emmerich things again. But Whitecat is going to keep Germany in it looks like.
Yeah, Whitecat's combo is still in good shape. Krilla as well, not far away with a really good recovery. Despite struggling so much in accuracy, it seems like there's going to be a running theme with most of the German team. And there's Whitecat, and that's the full combo shut down there from Germany. And in turn, all that hope as well kind of lost. Emmerich also still uncontested with that full combo. And a Secret Box not too far away himself. With that miss from Krilla also through from Germany, it seems like their hope is whittling down more and more. As Okinama also misses, and as the difficulty ramps up with the doubles and the control, it's getting a little bit too much for the German roster as it starts to gain to absurd categories here. As Emmerich still has his combo going with 97 AC. This is a very difficult map to hold strong consistent accuracy on, but who else but a player like Emmerich, one of, if not the best player of our generation, and one of the best of all time, destroying this map and encroaching that 1 million scoreline. A Secret Box as well, really not far away. Really solid recoveries from the collective here of Russia, but it is going to be Emmerich to finish this off with an opening full combo for this match. What a start here.
He's fixing his choke from yesterday. Can't let that sit, can he? And that is so much better than what they did last week. Way over 3 million. It's better than what Germany did yesterday too. Germany low rolling though a bit, but I guess just picking this right out of the gate, catching them cold, was a great choice because that was pretty one-sided in the end.
Oh, wasn't it just? I mean, just breaking that down, you can see exactly why Australia have gone into that. Not only today, but yesterday as well. consistently good accuracies on that. No one below 95 yesterday, and today, again, no one below 95. So in just pure comfort, it's already a massive advantage, and Germany did actually play better on that yesterday than they did today. Perhaps a bit of an overperformance on their part, but Australia, they sniffed that out straight away, and they knew that they had a winner on their hands. So very solid pick from Australia to kick this off, and it's up to Germany to mount a response.
It is. Where do they go this time? Of course, they picked quite a bit of control yesterday, avoiding the mechanics against the UK, working out well. And Australia don't really like going into the gimmick if they can help it. I think the bans telegraphed that somewhat. So I think Germany are going to have to be a bit brave with that as well. Getting stuck into some of that left field picking here. Hard Rock 3 is the choice, so that's actually mechanics. So they are going to take them on mechanics right out of the gate. Get their warm-up in, I suppose, after that last one with some streams.
Yeah, some very solid stuff from them yesterday. We saw Krillo with the 98 accuracy play. 500k, I believe it was a 1 miss yesterday from Krilla. You also had Tim Kackner as well performing very well, so definitely expecting to see those two in. Whether we'll see perhaps Flair or Whitecat substituted out might be possible. Whitecat was looking like he was struggling a little bit yesterday on both combo and accuracy, but other than that, it seems like it's a very solid pick for them on paper. We'll just have to see how Australia are feeling on this sort of map.
Your streams like this is something that's always been Germany's bread and butter, and they made good use of it yesterday in the matchup versus the UK. But Australia's tapping roster, of course, we all know is formidable. On the Hard Rock, though, that can bring out the German specialists on that mod who have played so well this tournament. I imagine it'll be the same roster because it seems like it kind of writes itself. Flair is always going to be in for the Hard Rock maps. Of course, Triller will be. I think Whitecat can roll a bit better than 400k, but we probably will need to against Australia. But I imagine we'll be perfectly fine on this as well. We haven't seen them play it yet. But Pala sitting in the lobby. I don't know if this is a Pala map, but we haven't seen too much of him this tournament. I wonder.
Yeah, Pala been a bit distant as of late, but is definitely one of their more specialist style players. Who works around the core 4 or 5 players from Germany. So, has been subbed out.
I was going to say, I mean, I didn't think this was a Pala. Hey, I'm going to be hopeful. I want to see the reading players for Australia go at it. JGLF and Pala.
Put Pala back in.
Put Pala back in. But no, the tapping roster writes itself for Australia. It's those 4, of course.
I mean, it's going to be the iconic 4, right? Pala, although a Hard Rock specialist here from Australia, a very strong player in his own right. I think the scaling is a little too high for him on a map as difficult and tenuous as this one. Yesterday, both Germany, the UK, and South Korea and Germany and USA face each other on this one. And it's safe to say, kind of regardless of what side you're looking at, everyone had a bit fair shares of their struggles on this one. And this one being no exception. Tons of terrifying, sharp cuts, sharp, linear, and just highly spaced, precise streams in this one. And you can kind of see it, right? Mazarin does not hold back on some of these streams, and in turn, you're going to be seeing quite a bit of struggle from quite a few players generally throughout this tournament. But so far, so good from both sides. Only Krilla to have had a notable early miss here. A very early miss from a Suka Boss to start this off, but I don't think a player like Box is going to let that miss go very easily. One of, if not the strongest flowing players in this tournament. So very likely to get that recovery back in shape to give Australia a good lead to start this one off.
Absolutely correct. You've still got 2 big combos there on the side of Germany to watch out for. Flair and Tim Kackner still holding strong. But there is some consistency issues from Kriller and Whitecat. The 2 duos from Germany not doing as well as Australia here. And this is starting to look really dangerous as we approach the halfway point of the map. No major drop. Oh, Zintex, AK and ZX is also going to drop. Tim Kackner goes though. And Flair's gone as well.
It's a complete collapse here from Germany, and alongside Australia, both teams just completely falling apart on this particular stream section. Just after that first chorus time, getting just before into the second one, everyone not really able to hold a significant combo. But this accuracy difference is really big in favor of Australia. Look at it, right? You've got 95, 97, 96 from Germany with only 98 from Krilla, whereas the rest of Australia are 98 or higher. And that's a really important thing to note here. Although the combo recoveries are there, we're getting into another really difficult section here. And although there are no full combos to note of, this part has a lot of chain miss potential. And if one team exceeds the other, this might lead to a flip for Germany if it goes in their favor. But so far, both misses are getting evenly traded. The wiggles in this map are so unforgiving. With the hard rock and precision, the spacing applied, it's just a mix, a cauldron of difficulty that shreds so many players. But it seems like for the majority, Australia are the ones to come out alive with this one. Atkins, Zintax, and Asugabox all keeping alive the recoveries, with Emrek trailing not too far behind himself. Zintax may miss, but Germany really have nothing to speak of. Krilla, with the last man combo standing, is not going to survive any longer. And as we get into the ending, it seems more and more dire for Germany, as their opening breakpoint is going to be shut down by Australia.
Yeah, Secret Box recovery, the standout performance there. 99 accuracy. Emmerich as well with the 99 ac. Such good performance on that. Won't hold the combo to the end, but my god, what a performance from Australia on that. It's a solid breakpoint for them. Absolutely monstrous stuff from Australia. A well-deserved breakpoint. Accuracies across the board looking so solid, wouldn't you say, Dooms?
Yeah, 3 scores and 98% is actually so good for this. A Secret Box with 99%, man. The human metronome strikes again. It's a great score from Australia. It's a bit of a low roll on the side of Germany, but it wouldn't have mattered. They still beat the score from yesterday. Australia's tapping roster is scary, and Germany, with the Brave pick, it's not working out though.
Again, it's not as solid as it was yesterday from Germany. They have, unfortunately, done a bit of a low roll, but that's okay. That's okay. There's still plenty of time for this match to change and swing a momentum. But Australia still got 2 DT maps that I imagine they're going to stick to their guns with. But they're not. No Mod 5's coming out instead.
Well, this isn't a million miles away, though, actually, No Mod 5. I wonder, have we seen this map yet? This might be the first time we've seen it. Bound to Madness. 230 BPM Death Stream Shred. So, yeah, I mean, we had, Iron just now. This is kind of similar, except faster and even more streamy. Much more Australia pilled, I'd say.
Yeah, from what I remember, it was definitely banned in the USA match. I'm fairly sure it was banned, it might have been banned at every stage. I could be wrong with one of those, but I'm fairly sure it has been open. It would have been banned against Australia for definite by Russia. So I think it has been banned or completely avoided by every team so far. So it's an interesting opportunity to see this, and I'm wondering why Germany haven't banned it, in all honesty.
I reckon it's because Germany think they can take them on it, and I don't blame them. Again, Germany on 230 BPM, it's not really hitting the speed side of things. It's still more on the side of stamina, and Germany have the roster to compete here. Australia have looked good on the speedy stuff so far, but Germany can't always be a threat on these. We've seen Okinamo come in, who is going to be pretty pivotal to this one, you'd think. Looks like White Cat will be stepping out for the stamina. Yari coming back in. I can see this being stolen away, with it being basically pure tapping, some aim in there as well, as streams can get quite spaced, but it's all about that tapping, and both teams should be comfortable on the tapping. It's going to come down to that consistency on the style today.
Yeah, it really will. Tapping consistency gonna be key on this one. And we've already had little glimmers of what that would look like with Australia so far. So it's a confidence pick more than anything, in my opinion, to try and piggyback off the back of what they've already done. So looking for a 3rd point here, which would really put them in a strong position going into Germany's 2nd pick. But let's see what Germany can muster on this. They're not putting in some of their more star players, going with the specialists.
Yep, Flair coming in to replace White Cat compared to that DT2 we saw Poppypo. So bringing in more of a stream player for this makes sense.
This map is brutal, man. I'm sure we've stated it enough, but the flame on some of these streams with the overmounting stamina is only a map that a team like Australia would love to pick into Germany. Safe to say, though, Germany do have a good roster for this. Zyfrost, Yari, Flay, and Okinamo, all four very much capable tapping players. But this map can really hit you hard. It can really destroy your fingers. So how much do Germany have in the tank to continue fighting? Because Australia clearly are a team comfortable enough to willingly kick this into you. You just know the confidence is high here for Australia. If they get this one, they're going to be consolidating that breakpoint and getting a 3-0 lead earlier on. Not a good start you'd want here. You need to try and get some early momentum starting through, but as we get into the first stamina death stream section, it's looking really, really even so far. Only accuracy slightly in the hands of Australia, but such tiny margins, and even so, that ag drop from Zintax is going to make it even closer, and there's the break there from Zintax. 3-4 in favor of Germany. All four members still have their combos intact, but there's plenty of sections in this map that might lead to a miss. Thankfully for now, Germany have not been tripped up by it just yet. A secret box goes down, a player that not many people would expect to go down early on into this map. It's going to be a strong favor for Germany. Zyfrost may get the miss, but it's still 3-2 in favor of Germany.
Yeah, the volatility of this map's really starting to shine now, as we see multiple misses coming in from players. And there we go, double break for Germany, though. That's really not going to open things up. It's just Flair holding on for them.
Emmerich and Syntax holding on to their combos as well. Still solid accuracy from the two. The dynamic speed duo here with Emmerich and Akins. So formidable, so terrifying, but so consistent on a map like this. Both of these guys have had experience on some of the most difficult stream maps in solo, and they are reflecting that skill set here. As the rest of Germany not really having a combo to fight with. Another miss from Yari. It's just Flay left on his own. And even so, the accuracy that he has isn't nearly enough to contest even one of the scores here from Akins and Emmerich. Box with a good recovery, enough to contest Okinamo. And even if Zintax is struggling a little bit, Australia do pull their lead by just a small margin, but all of these misses from Zintax are starting to make this close. Yari and Okinamo do, though, get those misses, and now it's gaining a lot more for Australia. A secret box may miss, and for Flay, it's the trade that secures the lead securely here for Australia by a very strong margin. Box and Zintax may struggle, but Akins and Emmerich are shredding this map with no mercy.
Oh, we're still not even into the last quarter of the map.
Oh
it's
my
such
God.
a lengthy, draining map. And the fact they've already such an established lead, they're just continuing to climb with it.
No way.
99 accuracy, it's insane.
Akins, Emmerich, what are you doing, man? This is a brutal section. How are you doing all of this? This is one of the hardest stamina draining maps we've seen in the O's World Cup, period. History as well. This is such a messed up map. But finally, Akins misses one of the full combos for Australia to go down. But it doesn't really mean much here, as Emmerich is still holding and hits that entire stamina section to himself. And who else, right? One of the best players on the planet. And if not the best player on the planet, to be honest, right now, probably securely known to be the best player on the planet, showing why his name is on that throne, as he still is shredding this map, even with the spacing on some of these patterns. Emmerich is just owning this. The map is his, and we're just living in his world at this point. Nobody able to hold on to the combos. Emmerich, what on earth are you doing?
Absolute cinema from Emmerich. Gets through. Oh, no!
Missed on the slider. You've got to be kidding me. Classic, right? Hits the hardest parts of the map and then just misses on air on a slider. Just classic at this point.
Who put a slider in my stream map? Who did that? Unacceptable. But wow. What a statement that sends to the rest of the world of his level of ability on this style of map, and on any map, in fact. Emmerich, what a standout star.
That is a crazy, crazy one-sided win there for Australia. End of the day, even the strongest stream players of Germany cannot keep up nearly with the two scores of Australia in both Emreich's S-rank 800k and Aken's incredible backing score with 633k. This is a crazy win for Australia against a team like Germany you don't hear very often.
That's a crazy score. I can't believe that from Emreich. And Atkins as well with 2.3k combo is just absurd, man. Just absurd. Got to shout out Okinamo, who got like 97% on that as well. Didn't have the combo, but that's insane act for this. Like I say, such a crazy stamina player, Okinamo. He's still got it, man. But Australia on these maps are probably the best in the tournament, and yeah. What do you do against that?
Not a lot, to be honest. I mean, you can understand really why it's been banned against them. Completely understand when you have a player, not just a player, but two players who can absolutely shred through that map. That it just makes it such a dangerous play for anyone who can't. But that is exceptional. 55 100s on that is unbelievable.
The players reeling in chat after that assault on their fingers. God, it's so long as well. That map just goes on forever as well. But I mean, Germany's got to pick themselves up. They're 3-0 down at this point. They've got to find something from somewhere. They went in for streams for their first pick. I wonder if they're going to change tack, because I feel like at some point they've got to try their hand at that gimmick. I know it's not exactly their bread and butter. They are mechanics focused, but against Australia they have not liked that gimmick. But it is going to be the No Mod 1 classic from Germany, so they are going to stick to mechanics, going to stick to their guns, stick to their strengths. It worked well against UK yesterday, so why not try it again?
Yeah, very good point to make, in fact, about picking it up against the UK. It's a map that's... No Mod 1 has got a history of being very volatile to whichever team seems to pick it in match, but again, that can also work in your favor as well. It can put other players off their game for how simply focused it is. It's aim mechanics, it's pure raw aim focus, and it's all about consistency at the end of the day. And it can cause easy mistakes. It's always the easy things that trip you up on maps like this. Like we saw with the previous map, it was that slider that caught Emmerich out. And if something simple like that can trip them up, why not bank on it? This is a map designed around that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's not the sort of high-speed aim style as well, because it's 200 BPM at nearly 8 stars, which means it's screen jumps, and lots of them. So it's uber wide spacing, which is particularly uncomfortable. Even on like the comfy flow, wide spacing, low BPM is not the most comfy style of aim for a lot of players. So absolutely, RNG misses can come about on maps like this. But if there's a team that's going to manage this well, Germany is definitely one of them. They've never been afraid to go into these sorts of mechanics picks against anyone, and it can be a bit of a toss-up. Australia don't mind their aim as well, but certainly prefer their tapping side. They'll compete on this, of course, but it might rattle them a little bit, especially if this doesn't go their way.
I mean, anyone who was watching this morning saw the absolute tearing apart of this map by South Korea. I don't think anyone's got that kind of expectation here, but any performance like that would just outshine anything I think the other team's going to be able to perform. So we'll see if the comfort's there. Maybe Germany hoping for an improvement on what they've done yesterday. They're going to have to.
They will, yeah. Germany, though, they've got a really good roster, and they took down UK on this for a reason. Played some Kakna, Whitecat, and Krilla. I mean, surely you have to look at Whitecat and Krilla to be the main players here for Germany. Whitecat, probably one of the greatest aim players of all time, let alone in the world right now. And this time he's played this map before. Nerves off with the expectations on him now, as he now has to stare down players like Emrek, Sayo, Asika Box, and Zintax to try and clash this out on this No Mod 1. 11 stud, very conventional in the styling of this map. It doesn't change the fact that how difficult some of these jumps really are. First, Hiai Time has jumps that are absolutely crazy, that go completely across your screen, as you can see right now as we get into it. Triller with the opening miss there for Germany. Tim Kacken as well on a good recovery after missing a good while ago. But still, all 4 members of Australia still have their combos intact. Another really powerful aim team that can destroy maps like this. But down goes Sayo. Flay joins in the trades here. White Cat left on his own with the full combos against 3 of Australia. Are these triangle jumps going to be changing anything? Are anybody from Australia going to be missing? Yes! A double miss from Australia. Emrek still holds the line. White Cat left on his own once again. It is a 1 versus 1 with full combos. Tim Kacken's recovery. Also one big of note here for Germany to give them a very small lead in the combo to slowly climb that lead back.
Yeah, Zytex following up with a couple of misses as well. It's really going to help Germany along, pull that back. 50k now in their favor. Everyone knows what they're up against. Emrek, White Cat, expectation and anticipation from what these 2 players have brought to us in the past and what they're going to do right now. Let's see who is more capable at this moment in time. Flay going to be finding a reset. Not the big one, though, for Germany. Secretbot's going to go down. Sayo's trying to recover something, but he's up against heavy resistance from the German roster.
Emrek misses. Timing perfect here for Germany as White Cat still holds on to that Hiai Time. Hits the square as well. Tim Kacken is always going to miss. One of note here. Kriller does have his recovery back up though, and Germany take the lead here. White Cat's full combo is now left uncontested as Australia do not have anything to fight back with Emrek's miss. And although the guitar solo section here is a little bit more tame, some of these jumps are still brutal here as it does trip up Zintax and Kriller. White Cat, again, a player we've told of stories of time and time again as one of the greatest aim players on the planet. He will miss on the 1/3 though. A classic of some of the aim players here. And in Aus history, it's always the aim patterns into the 1/3 that leads to the misses here. With that, Australia's recoveries are starting to gain. You can see it. The score lead is slowly ticking down for Australia as Box and Emrek have the recoveries and Sayo leads the charge with 870 combo and gaining here. Germany just don't have anything to fight with towards the ending. White Cats FC was all they had, but it's not enough. The FC is gone. Flame misses. Tim Kacken missed a good while ago as well. And in turn, towards the ending here, there is nothing left here for Germany. Australia will take the win straight under their nose as Sayo's recovery combo keeps pushing ahead to 100,000+ score in favor of Australia. Zintax and Sayo may miss towards the end, but Emrek and Seeger Box are there. And Emrek, despite being the last combo sang towards the very end, is going to be able to end this map in style as he hits the ending jumps. Pretty impressive there from Emrek, but doesn't really change the fact that Australia were going to win that one anyway. White Cat, unfortunately, with all the hope in the world you could have for him, it wasn't enough for Germany. And in turn, Australia get the break point and are now 4 points up in this match.
Talk a lot about some of the players on Australia, you know, your Secret Boxes, your Emreks, but Sayo has quietly been doing great work for Australia when he's being asked to. And that's a top score on his team on an no mod 1, and it was key as well. So fair play to him. Germany sticking to their strengths, and they look good, man. They look good, but it's again, it hasn't fallen their way. They're 4-0 down now. They're in a bit of a sticky situation. And Australia still have 2 potential DT picks if they want to get stuck into their meat and potatoes. Possibly even 3-mod-1. Monday Mania might be like adjacent to that. High speed mechanics. They have things to work with if they want to stick to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm eyeing up that DT1. You know, we talk very much about that Australia seem to be banking on picks based on what they're previously playing. They're trying to follow that momentum through. We saw that with the switch from the Hard Rock 2 to the No Mod 5. You know, very much tapping heavy, focus on that map, and now it's an aim map. So my thought process is, well, maybe they want to bank onto something more aimy now because they're warmed up for it. They know they can do it. Can they follow it through?
Oh, they will. DT1.
They're going to go with home turf, bringing out the pendulum. Why not? Goes without saying, what an absolute banger this is. The Probox D&B special. AR 10.5, OD 10.4, Bursty and Amy. for quite a long time. 5 minutes before DT. You're looking at about 3.5 minutes with DT. Yeah. I would not want to give Australia this map when they're 4 points up. This is exactly what many of their players would want.
Absolutely. Good variety of aim and burst patterns mixed into this map. Plus the overall high requirement works so well for them. And again, like I said before, they're warmed up on this. They're very aim focused right now. And they're going to build off that momentum. Definitely looking for Secret Box and Emmerich to fill out those last 2 slots. Just adjusting to the approach rate most likely before they hop in. Germany probably trying to do the same thing.
Trying to squeeze in some of that high AR warm-up. Get your settings going. If you choose to do so before you get into there, it's pretty key. AR 10.3, of course, is comfortable really for the most part for players like this, but 10.5 can still take a little bit of adjustment. You might need a touch of warm-up, lest you get some early misses. I mean, the very start of this map is pretty slow, so you can kind of get that adjustment right at the start, before the map really kicks in a little bit after the intro. But you really don't leave anything to chance, do you?
No, I completely agree. Definitely not something you want to leave to just pure chance. And again, looking at these rosters, it's going to be that same standard lineup for Germany. Australia banking in a lot more with their roster changes, bringing in the DT man himself, Akian ZX. We've seen what he's done on these higher BPMs, and he's back to try and pull another point for Australia in this matchup.
This one is an Australian staple, I think. And that in turn makes this map very, very scary here for Germany. Backs against the wall, only being pushed deeper into the bricks here. As this one is a very classic map. Of course, you have to look at this entire Australian roster and think they have the potential to set an OWC PP record on this map. If this FC comes through, 800 is a number we may see appear after these scores. What matters is whether or not one of these players will close it out and whether or not Germany are able to keep up with Australia. Because Australia have multiple of the best DT1 players on the planet. Emrach, Akins, Sukerbox, and Zintex for Australia. Okinamo, Tim Kakner, Whitecat, and Flay here for Germany. Already a lot of opening misses with some of these bursts here. Important note that one thing that does make this map unique from most DT1s is that the aim on these bursts are a lot higher than normally you would expect. Most of the time they're stacked, if not slightly movement heavy, but this one is quite rapid and quite spaced compared to what you usually would have. And it has led to a lot of early misses here. Tim Kakner, Whitecat, Zintex, Sukerbox, Akins, all missing here past this intro point of the map. Left Emrach and Okinamo in a 1v1 with the full combos. We are still very early into this. A lot of these bursts quite reminiscent of United to a certain degree. I think that's one similarity that you can have, that some of these aim patterns can really trip you up, and it's another miss there from Atkins for Australia. Zentex running the misses too. The recoveries here from Australia outside of Emrach are struggling quite a bit here as Germany are starting to build a bit here. Okinamo's full combo keeps up with Emrach. Tim Kakner, Whitecat, Flay all building. A Sugar Box to recover to join Emrach here, but a lot of misses still secured as Tim Kakner misses, Flay misses as well. And now it's even grounds here with the combo game.
Yeah, and keep your eyes on that top row. Emrach versus Okinamo's the battle you'll want to be watching, because that is what's keeping the score so incredibly close. You've got sporting combos on the bottom row as well. Secret Box versus Whitecat going on there as well. Those are the players to watch at the moment, because it is still continuing to build in Australia's favour with slight combo advantage. But Okinamo drops the full combo.
Huge, huge misses here for Germany. Okinamo must be kicking himself at that one as the break is shown. He sees that one man managed to just win the race against him, and all eyes are on Emrach, but he misses on the stream, so it is still even. But 161,000 score in favour of Australia is a tough gain, a tough lead to overtake here. And all you have is Whitecat's 1,000 combo plus. Australia don't have anything. It's a full
Watch
collapse
out
from
for
Australia.
Flair.
Zintex
Flair
misses
with
as
the
well.
score.
Plays back in combo is huge. Is there enough time for Germany to potentially flip this? Emmerich misses again.
It's coming
No
down.
way.
It's falling. Australia's perfect streak in this match. It's falling. It's collapsing away from them. And there's nothing they can do.
Why can't
Why
play?
They're holding strong. They're gonna flip this. They're gonna get on the board on an Australia DT1 pick.
Something that I don't think anyone really expected. But Whitecat pulls back his 2019 legend. Those who remember Whitecat when he was #1 in the world, people could not even dare to imagine what someone could contest Whitecat on. And DT1 was one of those very big skill sets. And Whitecat brings that back now to take down Australia, to take down Emmerich, to take down Akens on a map like this. What a surprise victory here from Germany. Not only with Whitecat's incredible score of 890k, but Flay as well on that recovery. Okinamo holding up, keeping Emmerich in contention for such a long time before he missed. That is an incredible breakpoint there from Germany. But it's their turn now to switch that momentum. It needs to be now, because Australia are still 3 points up and 2 away from securing match point.
Got respect on this guy's name. What a play from Whitecat. And that was the perfect map to steal. I would have almost put that on, with the exception of maybe that No Mod 5, which I think was probably Australia's strongest pick. That was their second strongest pick, and it's gone to Germany. That's exactly what they needed to get something back in this game. It's a foothold. They're still behind, but that's a huge power pick that Australia don't have no more.
It was, and it wasn't even an accuracy game. I mean, Germany were losing heavily on accuracy. They were not holding that for the majority, but the combos from Whitecat, Okinawa, and Flair really doing so much work for them that it just converted. And yeah, a bit of an underperformance from Australia. We know how dangerous they could be. They're kicking themselves right now. That was an easy 3-0 team score. I can already imagine what they're saying.
There was room to do better on that, but I mean, on the day, sometimes it just doesn't fall your way. Didn't fall their way that time, but it fell the way of Germany, and that's just how aim picks work sometimes, right? For Germany, though, they've been sticking with mechanics. Are they going to stick with it here? I mean, they just won DT1. I mean, why not? They still have free mod 1 open if they want to go that route. Maybe hard rock 1. Oh, yeah, no mod 6. Where's that? Where's my AR5 no mod, guys? No mod 4. Is that where we're going? I think it might be. Data Eraser. The original hardcore banger by Lusumi. We've seen it a couple times. It's no mod 4, but on steroids. 200 BPM, high speed, slider tech, 1-4 burst control, all over the shop.
Yes, absolutely brutal. 7.4, 200 BPM. One of the shorter maps, actually, that we're going to be seeing throughout this pool. 2 minutes 14th in length. But it does not disappoint. It doesn't let up from beginning to end. So you are really banking on those heavy preferred tech players for both sides.
So I guess here's that pivot from mechanics into something more control heavy. We did see Australia they played it yesterday. They actually beat Germany's score. 2.2 million they got. Germany got 2.1. Nothing really in that. You know, on the day you can gain 100k, you can gain or lose like 100k, 200k. So this could still go either way. I do think Germany going into this is brave. I like the choice. I like the choice of going into something control heavy. Australia on pure no mod tech is solid. Sayo is in. He's already had a very good score on the no mod 1. So he's going to be up in spirits at the moment. See what the rest of the team looks like.
Yeah, banking on strong performances. And again, it's one of those situations you look at yesterday and you see overall better accuracies coming out of the side of Australia. But we saw with that previous map, Germany's not going to be thinking about that. They're going to be thinking in terms of pure combo, in terms of pure volatility. This map could work for them. And I think that's what they need. If they can bank off that, build up that momentum, and get a second point on the board, it'll do masses for their confidence and put a bit of doubt in the minds of Australia here.
Yeah, especially with this change in style as well. If they win this, it opens up a lot of good picks for Germany. So quite a lot riding on this particular choice, I think.
Yeah, this is a very important high-stakes map here for Germany. Although you look at the head-to-heads from yesterday, Australia were the ones to take it by about 128,000. But it's time for Germany to really prove their worth on a map like this. Show their versatility enough to show their fangs against Australia and try and bring some momentum back after a miraculous run on the DT1. This might be a hard map to cast, guys, because not going to lie, I'm headbanging pretty hard to this song right now. But we'll have to keep it going anyway. Like you said, O's original by Lucimi. Mapped by both He and Funny. Nice combination there, handsome and funny joining for this one. And this one holds no bars. The slide attack in this is messed up, and you can already see it here. A lot of misses coming from multiple players here. 3 early misses from Australia, with a Secret Box also joining in for the most recent. But Germany get the trades here. Tim Clacker and Yari both missing. Whitecap missing a good while ago. It's Kriller and Emrek to hold on to the combos. But Kriller misses! That's a giant break it down there from Germany. One of the strongest tech players in the planet right now for the tournament scene is gone here for Germany. Emrek still holds. 97 act here. Solid considering how brutal this map really is. But Emrek, a jack of all trades, feels like he can play just about anything. And he is keeping that line far ahead here for Australia. Sirens in this on their recoveries as well. Enough to get in the lead by just a small margin.
Yeah, but he's up against heavy resistance at the moment. He's got good combo. He's now starting to build with another miss coming out from Yarv. But accuracy-wise, it's still Germany favoured, so it's still quite dangerous. Heavy reliance on combo at the moment, especially from Whitecat. Tim Kackner and Sayo are going to be trading things up. We're about to head into the wubs. The heavy wubs. Let's see who gets through. Emrek goes down, though.
This is on one of those space bursts. Those triples into the next KI time. You've got Whitecat on that recovery. Is there enough time? Is there enough damage? Asuka and Zintos are able to contest Whitecap with their recoveries collectively here. Tim Kackner misses. Yari with 200 combo. Whitecat's down on the big sliders. The second KI time is so messed up, but Australia have the backs of Amrag, even after missing this full combo. The sliders are simply too much for Germany, as they all are crumbling to pieces. Australia leading that head so far forward now. Asuka Fox may go down, but Zintax has his back. Not enough time for Germany to fight with as it starts to gain a lead. So daunting. 415,000 for Australia. They get a very one-sided breakpoint on this No Mod 4.
Australia not budging an inch. They're saying you can take our DT1, but you'll never take our maps afterwards, because that is just a clean shutdown from them. Emrek holding it in the early game, building up nice combo. No one could battle them then, and Zintex later on, no one could battle them afterwards. Incredible stuff from Australia here.
A nice slider break, nice 98%, nice 97% as well on Zintex and Kriller. Another great score there from Kriller on tech. Whitecat pretty close as well. Some of the accuracies in this lobby for this map are crazy, by the way. But combo is king, and Australia had it. They've stolen a tech pick away, and yeah, the no more tech not working out too well there. Germany rolling a bit lower than yesterday, but that's the nature of a map like that, I suppose. Hard Rock 2 quickly picked here from Australia.
Yeah, the thing that is becoming abundantly clear throughout this matchup is nothing is guaranteed at this stage of the tournament. And now, for Australia, it's looking like they're on a steamroll once again. They're going to be going into a precision-focused flow map. And this has got all of the makings of an excellent performance.
Yeah, precision Hard Rock, breaking out those Hard Rock players again who have they've been eating good so far on both sides. Of course, this one being more on that precision side. It's a bit of a different kettle of fish. I do rate the specialists on Germany, though, to do well on a map like this. Pure flowing, more about the control on that precision as well. But with small CS, it's a map that can bring out your nerves. It's the classic. Small CS can bring out those shakes. Australia have the insurance to maybe not relax, but certainly keep their cool a bit better. Yeah, with this map though, really the second half you need to watch out for because it steps up quite a lot once you get into the second half of that map, and some of the patterns in the final chorus are ridiculous. Chain misses all over the shop, and we've seen teams just die to it quite a bit when it's been picked. So depending on how the combos look going into that second half, we could have a bit of a feast of chain misses on our hands.
Yeah, this was the map that brought down the monolith that was the United States yesterday. And it could be something that Australia are going to bank on to try and put Germany in a last-ditch position. But Germany have opted for the timeout. So they will get some extra time to readjust. And I think it's needed for a nerve control focused area like this. You definitely want the time to relax, allow your players to adjust to the map and not feel the nerves that it's going to bring in, because this is a real do or die position for Germany. They're going to want to strategize and rethink their game plan because, like Shiva said, the tech didn't work out for them, and now they're having to look to other areas for their next map pick, but also to relax themselves. They need this.
Yeah, there's no harm in taking just a minute just to try and reset yourselves. Get your head back into it because that's so important. But also give you a chance to get to warm up a little bit on the precision. Don't hurt too. It's interesting though because Australia did ban this yesterday, I believe, which may say a lot. But even then, I still think Australia should be decent on this. I think it may have been more because they were playing into Russia, whose hard rock roster is like second to none. That might have been more about it. vv 3 as well was banned. That was the anti-mod, but they did ban this last time. I think Germany can equally abuse Australia on this sort of pick. But I suppose they don't want to go into it, they don't want to rush it. So they don't want to rush it because control and execution is so critical. You don't want to be tilting going into a map like this.
Yeah, it's definitely a much late game map than it is in the early game. Not something you really want to bank on as a pick, something you want to rely on later on. But yeah, such volatility with this map again. One time you could be running a very high combo and high score, and then the next it could all just fall apart, chain missing on a flow style map like this. It's brutal.
I suppose the creme of comfort here really is if Germany steal this, it potentially opens up the free mod 3, the anti-mod, as a potential pick. After this one, if we get to Australia's next pick, depending on how these ones go, they don't really have any pure speed left. They do have some aim, but that's pretty contested. Australia don't have many clear-cut picks left if this doesn't work. And if Germany can stay in the game by then, it can get a bit chaotic if Germany keep their wits about them. So even though it's 5-1 up here for Australia, they're not out of the woods yet. And if they lose this, it's still quite volatile, I would say. It's still pretty precarious almost for Australia. But no doubt, picking this when they have that insurance to be like, hey, if this doesn't work, we've still got a chance. It's probably a good shout when you need to keep your wits about you.
Here we are. We're into this Hard Rock 2. You guys have said it a lot. This map is it's a very unforgiving map. A lot of nerve control, as you guys mentioned. Another thing as well is just that there are some patterns in this map that are just designed to just make you suffer sometimes. Some of these super space sections there, like that square there that you just saw, already some early misses there from a Secret Boss and Emrek. But this map just hits you with jump scares of space flowing sections and really difficult aim control with this precision stacked on top. It is just a brutal, brutal map. Already, look at those big streams there, tripping out Whitecat and Zyfrost. It's going to be a continuing pattern here where some of these disgusting hits of the patterns are just going to lead to some pretty scary misses. And it's looking like it's all over the place at this point here. Asuka Box and Atkins also missing. But Australia do have their lead by a good margin here with Zintax and Emrek holding on to good combos. That might be a full combo still intact there for Zintax as well to contest Krilla on the side of Germany.
It's big chains that have come in for Germany from Zyfrost and Whitecat early game. Aiken ZX is going to go. Zyfrost going to find another reset though.
Zintax
down. Secret Box is down. Okay. So now we're looking at a Krilla versus Emmerich battle, but Emmerich's still falling behind from the early misses in the game. Tim Kettner and Zyphos, though, going to be dropping supporting combo. There goes Krilla as well!
Oh, that's the big miss down there for Germany. All you have left is Whitecat into the break. Germany see it. Germany look at Emmerich's combo. I guess that's all they can prey on at this point. Emmerich looking at this, saying to Germany, where is your god now? Not much left here for Germany to fight off with, but Whitecat does have a combo left. His accuracy, though, is so low. And honestly, who can blame him? This map is messed up. We saw some chain misses from him earlier on some of the space streams. I think it's difficult for anyone to keep up with the score with Whitecats, but he's still got something left in the tank here. Is it enough to contest Emmerich? It's not! He's fallen, and so did the rest of Germany. Australia's recoveries are intact, but all that's left standing, the only one who can take the fire that this map throws at you, it is Emmerich. Like we said, Emmerich stares down to the eyes of Germany and says, where is your god now? As he is hitting all of these flowing sections, he's finally down, but it's more than enough damage. Germany have nothing to fight with. Krilla only has a meager 200 combo, and even then he's down. And with that coming through, the hopes of Germany potentially getting a breakpoint on precision, a skill set that we would consider one of the staples, is not enough. Australia will take it, and they are one map away from securing themselves top 3 at the OS World Cup 2024. Only one more map, gentlemen.
Dude, that ending is absurd. Emmerich, what was he doing there? He gets a 1 miss to that ending. Truly insane stuff here, but Emmerich kind of does the impossible, doesn't he? We've almost come to expect it from him. Wow. Like, one score in this room is not like the others, people.
It really isn't. There is one score that stands above the rest. And you know who it is. You've come to expect it at this point, but even when you know it's coming, it still shocks you like it's the first time you're seeing it. And I think that really speaks to how this match appears to be going. Every map appears shocking, and it shouldn't be, really. I mean, Australia have transformed themselves over the past few years in terms of performance and improvement in the World Cup. And, you know, now they're seeing those fruits come to fruition. And it's amazing to see what they can do now.
Well, Germany have the next pick. They have 1 pick. If they can make this work and keep their heads above water, but at 6-1, Germany have... Well, they have hidden 1 open. They have a free mod 1 open if they want to go into more aim. Can you guys pick hidden 2? Yeah, we haven't seen the Yoke Spy map. Hey, yeah, I'm cool with it. Listen to this guy. This guy is saying facts right now. JGLF knows what's up.
Aww.
Oh, free mod 1. Oh, come on.
Oh, buzzkill Tim Kettner, aren't you? God.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
Back
I mean,
to the
this
bench.
is much more of a German pick than that.
It is, yeah, very much more focused on density and aim heavily throughout this map. It's almost littered with it, you could say. And 230 BPM as well, very comfortable for these sorts of players, but again, it's the mod players that are really going to stand out on this one.
Yeah, the AR9 with that high mechanics requirement means the hidden players have to deal with some pretty serious density on the linear aim and big squares and streams as well in this. Hardrock players got to deal with near 8-star mechanics with the linear aim. Even no mod, you have that high density. But yeah, naturally, the mod players are going to be the ones doing the heavy lifting on the difficulty. But certainly no slouch on, you know, on the density side of this map, even for the no mod players.
Yeah, they definitely will. And it's one of those maps where you do wonder whether you'll see an overmod on, because in terms of comfort, you know, a lot of players I think would prefer to slap a Hardrock on this. Yeah, it's near 8 stars, but in terms of, at this stage, you are looking for what makes you most comfortable to perform. And this density aim can trip you up. We haven't seen it yet, though. Most teams opting for the traditional one harder at one hidden on a map like this, so I'd be very surprised to see anything off the norm.
I reckon, yeah, unless you are absolutely crazy or you're Rectagon, you're going to pick Hard Rock on this for comfort reasons. I reckon it's going to be pretty safe, I think, in terms of the mod picks. That's looking like a slightly different lineup for Germany that played this yesterday. Fle took the Hard Rock last time, but not this time. It's Tim Kakner, who may also be taking the Hard Rock in his stead for Australia. It's looking like it's a bit different for them as well, actually, I think. Oh, never mind. I tell a lie. This is the same roster as Germany. I can't read. Australia haven't played this yet. So this is new territory for them. It's the same squad for Germany. My bad.
It is time here. Germany, backs against the wall, further in than ever. And this time it's another one of the aim picks that we have seen Germany very capable of winning on. We saw them just barely miss out on a win on that No Mod 1. We saw them triumph over Australia on a DT1 that we did not expect. Magic needs to be a light here for Germany. They are one map away from falling and missing out on top 3 at the US World Cup at the hands of Australia. Tim Kakner with the Hard Rock, Okinama with the hidden here for Germany. Krilla and Whitecat on the no mods, with a Secret Box and O-Slash joining in with the mods for Australia, with Amrek and Zintex on the no mods. It's a very nice mirror in the mods here, which is quite satisfying for if you're a viewer. But regardless, into the map here. Like we said, this map has some brutal wide-angle jumps. If you are not prepared for them, you will get absolutely destroyed. But thankfully so, it's not been too dire so far. We haven't gotten to too difficult of a section just yet, but it is a trade from Okinamo from Zintax here. And so it's even grounds with the combo for Germany to have a slight lead.
Yeah, it is. Still in their favor. It's what you want to see if you're a Germany fan. But there's still so much time left in this map. It is another 4-minute gauntlet. And so much could go wrong so quickly on this. Everyone holding their mettle so far until Okinamo.
That miss from Okinamo, quite big. But it is traded by a Secret Box there on the Hard Rock. Expected, right? But so many consistent patterns, you don't really know exactly when someone's going to slip. But Syntax also loses on out of this recovery here for Australia. Okinamo might be suffering here on the hidden, but the rest of Germany have got his back here. Tim Kakner in particular, still holding his line. This is a really brutal map with Hard Rock applied, but Tim Kakner, one of the precision specialists here for Germany, let alone a name Maestro, keeping his combo intact here, letting Krilla and Whitecat still stay comfortable. Another miss there from a Secret Box. Emrek and O-Slash left on their own. Great accuracies from everybody here throughout the lobby. But Germany are slowly starting to gain their lead with 3 FCs to 2.
It's looking good for Germany. Into the second half we go. O-Slash gonna go down. Emrek now the sole survivor for Australia. But he is up against unbelievable, overwhelming power from Germany.
This is disgusting. Germany, as a 3-person quad, they are just shredding this map right now. Okinamo might be the one tanking the hidden right now, but everybody else is destroying on this. Finally, a miss there from Germany on one of the full combos in Krilla. But his accuracy is so astronomically high that it really isn't going to make a massive impact. The combo advantage is still hugely in favor of Germany here. It isn't as one-sided as maybe we would have hoped, considering the combos we see purely off of the back of, unfortunately, Okinama not really able to get his foot off the starting point on this map. But who can blame him? These jumps are so messed up here, and Tim Kakner is holding the fort with the Hard Rock, and Whitecat as well, contesting Emrek's no-mod score. O-Slash misses again. But it just seems like Australia's recoveries have nothing to fight with, nothing to speak of, as Whitecat and Tim Kakner, a dynamic duo here for Germany. They will keep pushing, and with the final miss coming through from Emrek, there's only so much the #1 player in the world can do sometimes. And that's a difficult statement to say when it comes to Emrek. But even so, Tim Kakner and Whitecat are absolutely annihilating this map. And Tim Cagner might be setting one of the best scores of the week here as we get towards the ending. His accuracy still incredible. Over-contesting a player to the likes of a secret box and overshadowing a map like this. It is such a rare sight to see, but the beauty is there. The potential is there. Does Tim Cagner hold this out? Whitecat's full combo is shut down. It is only the hard rock of Tim Cagner with the full combo left intact. Is this going to happen, Tomash? Is it going to happen? We're slowly ticking. The spikes are getting increased. The jumps are ramping up.
Is he going to hit this ending? Oh my god.
It's done! Full combo for Tim Cagner on the hard rock. This is, I think, without a doubt, one of the best scores of the week, if not of the tournament. 99.01. 4 minutes of some of the most brutal wide-angle jumps you could expect. But it means nothing for the AIM hard rock maestro of Germany.
That is incredible. Head and shoulders above the pack. Tim Cagner, take a bow. 99% accuracy with hard rock on that at nearly 8 stars. Absolutely disgusting behavior, and I'm here for it.
Well, what you need is a statement to keep yourself back in this game. They're still under the cosh, but that win's got to feel good for Germany. That has got to feel good. And Tim Cagner must be on cloud 9 after banking that. Free mod 4 is the choice from Australia. More aim. I don't think Germany will mind playing more aim. It's speedy aim though, so it's a bit more in Australia's ballpark. But still very contestable either way, I think, this.
Very much so. Again, we're talking very big CS though, so hidden players not going to be enjoying this one that much. Very incredibly dense stuff, even more so than the hidden one. Oh, sorry, the free mod one. So, hard rock players definitely favored on this one in terms of pure comfort, because even the no mod is going to feel incredibly overwhelming with how big this CS is. It's 2.6. No modification. That's insane.
That's big. I like big circles and I cannot lie, but it can be disorienting to read, especially because this being AR 9.5 plus, you know, over 250 BPM, there is a density element. There is a reading element, especially on hidden. That can become a problem with the wiggling aim patterns in this. Some of the bursts being kind of awkward. The like linear aim into sudden screen jumps, basically. Can be kind of dicey on this AR at this speed. It is the sort of map where overmodding is actually more realistic. Like, seeing more than one hard rock is not out of the realm of possibility here for either of these teams. Just for the sake of reading, and CS still being above, like, CS4, I think, with hard rock. So it's still bigger than normal. We'll see if anyone does that.
Yeah, hidden hard rock potential as well, just in terms of pure comfort. To reduce down on the density is also an option. We will see who is feeling super comfortable on this. But again, in terms of the pure skill set itself, it's all aim, and you've got to watch out for those spike sections as well. Could be some critical misses coming in those sections, especially in the latter half of the map. It's not long, this one, compared to Free Mod 1. Much shorter, much more dense.
There is an overmod. 2 hard rocks on Australia. Zintex and Sayo. Sayo's actually swapping in for, I believe, Atkins. Atkins played this last time. Sayo's playing it this time.
Here we are. A big reinvigoration of hope here for Germany. But this one is a very different kind of map. Granted, the aim is still present, but there is a lot more alt linear aim in this one. A lot of rapid bursts, and a lot of absurdly high jump spikes, just like that one there. You're going to be seeing that quite a bit often. And this time, contrary to what we saw last map, first blood drop in the lobby is going to be from Tim Cagner of Germany. And it's going to be Whitecat to join suit. Sayo gets the trade here with the hard rock here from Australia. But it's a 3 versus 2 combo advantage here in favor of the Australians in the first quarter of the map.
Yeah, very much working in the favor of the overmod right now for them. They've still got those 2 full up. Doing well out of the 3. And like I said, we're rapidly progressing through this map. Much shorter, but all the skill still required. And it's looking good. Okinamo, though, going down for Germany.
That's a rough one there for Germany. Okinawa's hidden ability is one that can't be tested, but unfortunately this time it is down again. And Australia do have a really strong set of combos to just contest. Hold on a second. What was that double miss there? Emmerich and Sayo both miss. These slow sliders have hit them really hard. Krill and Whitecat's recoveries are high enough. Syntax misses as well.
Oh my
it's
God.
a complete collapse from Australia. And now look, it's suddenly flipping in favor of Germany. Krilla holds the line. Whitecat holds the line with his recovery. And this has gone from what was originally so one-sided to now making the double hard rock overmod for Australia tenuous, but Krilla misses. Full combo down, but Whitecat still has that leading combo, completely uncontested. 2 recoveries from Germany and up contest 2 of Australia. It's only Krilla that's contested by somebody else. Whitecat's combo is very, very important here for Germany.
I've got to be careful. They've got to be so careful here. If they drop those supporting combos, there's still enough combo on the side of Australia to shut out Whitecat here. They're not in the clear right to the end of this map.
Sayo, another miss from him. Whitecat misses! Down he goes. Anticipation is received. But it's still 115,000. Do the recoveries from Germany save the line? There's only so little time left. Syntax Emmerich do have 2 solid combos to go through with these giant sliders down, but it's not going to be enough. Germany still fight, even when their backs are deepest against the wall. Even when Australia are pushing their nerves to the absolute limit, Germany still battle. The fire is still alight as they get another win, and this time it's a break point against Australia once again. DT won beforehand, and now no free mod 4. Germany have an opportunity to make this 4 point up. Can they keep that fire alight? Because now it's looking bright.
Germany dangling over a cliff's edge, but they've got a firm grip over what's left. 3 points heading their way so far. They've still got to find a few more before we talk about the final map, but with 2 of their picks in hand, where are they going to go? Because these picks are starting to run few and far between at this stage.
Yeah, there's not a lot left now. The comfort picks are starting to be exhausted. I mean, there's Hard Rock 1, which I think Australia might be looking at, but Germany might be looking at as well with their Hard Rock team, the way they've been playing. But apart from that, you're looking at some left field business. The hidden pool's all open. Neither of these 2 teams want to get stuck in there, but I think they're going to have to at some point. That No Mod 2, the awkward flow aim pick, is also open. I don't know if Germany want to pick into that, to tell you the truth. I ain't sure about that, Chief, because Australia did pretty well on that yesterday. But there's not a lot of comfort picks left. They got to pick something from Plan B or even Plan C at this point. But Hard Rock 1, if you want to stick to mechanics, is probably the closest shout. And that's where they're going.
Hard Rock 1. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Going back to roots.
I see what you did there, Danny. I see what
Thank you
you
very
did
much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
there. Take your bow. Take your bow.
I wrote that one at the beginning. I was like, I'm waiting for this one to come up. I'm waiting for this one. Got it in there. Thank you very much.
Well, certainly brings Krilla back to his Hard Rock player roots. Certainly brings Germany back to home soil because they do love their Hard Rock, and their Hard Rock players have been doing pretty well today. I imagine we'll see Tim Kackner back in. Probably see Flair in as well. Looking at the scores, how did this go yesterday for these 2? Germany didn't play this. Australia did. They got nearly 3 million on this, which is an absurd score, by the way. So Australia, if they can recreate that, they're going to have a good chance, I think. But Germany have been doing well on the pure aim today. They stole 2 high-speed aim picks already. This is in that ballpark. They have, I wouldn't say they've owned this skill set today, but they've certainly looked like the stronger high-speed aim team.
Completely agree, but I still just can't shake the feeling that Australia could perform like they did on that Hard Rock 3. We all saw it at the start of the map. absolutely shut down Germany on the hard rock, and it does leave me wondering whether this was their best option. But it's too late now.
Yeah. To be fair, that Hard Rock 2, that precision pick, it's a very different pick to this. That one's more about the control and the precision, and yeah, Emmerich decided to choose violence on that map, really. This one's going to be much more of a team effort, I think. You've got less chance of just dying to huge chain misses on this. It's much more straightforward in that regard, so it's going to be more down to, I guess, consistency and just Hard Rock ability, which these two have in spades, so... I do think it's the best pick for Germany, considering them playing to their strengths, and this is probably the closest thing to their strengths that they have left. The problem is Australia have already done really well on this map. They'll hope to do it again. We'll see if they mind game themselves and low roll, but Germany are certainly going to have to do well on this to steal it.
Yeah, as we enter those double digits of maps now, you really start to run out of things to kind of bank on as a team, and it does come down to pure team performance at the end of the day. Let's see what Germany have still got in the tank.
Here we are. There's one sign of hope that we have for Germany on a map like this. One, it's their pick, and two, we do not have any statistics on how well Germany have done in match for this. And if there's any skill set that Germany we know are really good on, it's aim and it's Hard Rock. Even if Australia have such a daunting score ahead of them from yesterday, there is always a possibility. This map particularly, very aim intensive, but has a lot of really long chain jumps, which is the main callback to this map, the main thing that makes this unique from the rest. Especially towards the later stages, towards the more difficult parts, you're going to be seeing a very long chain section where there are just non-stop constant jumps. Linears into snaps, snaps into linears. Sudden sparks of difficulty that can hit you immensely hard. Early misses from Flay, a secret box, traded from both sides. It's still 39,000 in favor of Australia and gaining slightly off the recovery from a super box.
Yeah, they're continuing to show early game dominance as they have throughout this matchup.
Here we are. Big section coming up now. The ramp up is intense. This will not stop for a good while. This is the core point of this map. This is the most important part. If anybody can hold on to this, it could be an essential make or break for both sides. It is ramping up slowly. The jumps are increasing. No combos are fallen just yet. Down goes Atkins, traded by Flay. Germany favored here in the trade, as a full combo from Australia is taken down.
Wow.
Traded by the recovery. Is there enough here? It's still building. The jumps are still increasing. It's still going up. Germany have not missed their 3 full combos just yet. It's just Atkins, it's just Syntax and Emmerich. And everyone is still hitting them. Everyone is still going. Is there enough? Doubles into the slow bit. Spike soon to be. Whitecap falls. And Australia now have a big combo to these, but it is traded by Secret Box. Team Kakner as well. Any trades from Australia? No. Krilla still has the combo going. Syntax and Emmerich still hold the fort. And it gets more and more dire for Germany, as it's Krilla left on his own. The superstar carry for Germany. Unfortunately, could only do so much.
Down, but not out. Still got to get through this final section. Whitecat going to be the first one to trip up, looking for Syntax and Emmerich maybe to find a trade. It's AKNZX who goes instead, but Krilla has gone.
That is it. Krilla has fallen. And with that, the hopes of Germany to continue this match. Krilla is one of the most legendary players of all time for Germany in 2022. Made ginormous waves, let alone in the last 2 years. And even through leading a Germany that had so much potential, they've reached a limit that I think they can be proud of. Putting up a fight against Australia, taking down the UK, securing themselves top 4 once again, not letting that streak fall ever since 2018. It does not go even now against such incredible competition. Germany may fall, but it is regardless a great performance from them, still keeping the world in terms knowing how strong this team can be. But it doesn't change the fact that Australia still maintain their great form and in turn secure top 3 at the US World Cup and will be facing the United States for an opportunity to face South Korea in the grand finals next weekend.
You want to talk about streaks, by the way? Germany versus Australia. They've played 6 times before. This is their 7th matchup. Germany have won all 6. That ends today. It's Australia's first win against Germany in 7 matches. And what a way to do it. That team score was ridiculous on that. The double FC, Zintex and Emrek. Crazy stuff. The top 3 again, and well deserved.
Absolutely. And commiserations once again to Germany to come so far in the World Cup and just miss out on the grand final stage once again. Oh, it's tragic, but it always has to be someone that couldn't have gone to a nicer team. But that is how it's going to sit. Australia make the final slot into top 3 of the World Cup. Wow, I mean, so much to discuss, but we just don't have the time. Closing thoughts from everybody.
Great fight back there from Australia. From Germany. And they were under the cosh for quite a lot of that. And they found energy to fight back. And that score they did in that last map was pretty good. They just got completely outplayed by a ridiculous score. They kept the fight up until the end. Of course, Germany are always going to do that, though. At this level, they are formidable. And top 4 in this tournament is crazy. It's actually higher than their seeding. So they can't knock that. But nonetheless, Australia, these guys have the skill cap, and in the next pool they have to deal with, they're going to have to use every single ounce of that. I don't think the USA are going to be sleeping too easy knowing that these guys are their opponents next week.
Yeah, you have to fear Australia no matter what. I think this team, you know, we like to consider this team the band of brothers, right? Last year, a new generation coming through for Australia. They managed to really defy a lot of expectations that everyone had for them initially, and proving themselves to be a roster capable of really being the next candidate to break the equilibrium that's been the United States and South Korea for a very long time now. And with that, you know, the number 2 seed, but fighting through so many difficult opponents, now have a chance to take down USA in the losers grand finals to face South Korea in the grand finals there. And with the ceiling that Australia have, with the fire that this team has, there is potential there. There really is. So we're going to have to wait and see for what goes down then in the next week. Ladies and gentlemen, some quick announcements to make first and foremost. Before we say, I'm sure some things we have to say quickly, but first and foremost, important note is that the map pool showcase for the grand finals will be at 17 UTC today. So it won't be too long until you guys are going to be able to see what the Michelin star chefs that of the US World Cup have to offer for you. I can assure you, you will not be disappointed. I've heard enough hype from the guys themselves. They've been really, really proud of this week's grand finals pool, especially with the grand finals tiebreaker. So I hope you guys will be showing up for that one. On top of that as well, don't forget, I'll remind you once again, 17 UTC for the grand finals map pool showcase. And one more thing as well, guys. Eat banners. If you liked what you saw today, if you enjoyed the matchups that you saw, if you are starting to really gain a passion for some of the teams you've seen here at the OS World Cup, you can rep that support in style by going to the OS store and copying yourself an OS World Cup supporters banner. You can either go for a team that is still playing the OS World Cup, i.e. the top 3 that we have now, or even a team that has been knocked out that you still want to show your love to now to this day. Go get your banners, ladies and gentlemen. And who knows, if you do go for one of the top 3 that we have now, if they end up winning it all, you might have a nice shiny banner up until the next World Cup coming up soon. So go get your banners, ladies and gentlemen. It contributes to the prize pool. It contributes to our incredible players and our incredible team here at the OS World Cup. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else you need to say? Because I think I'm happy with what I've said so far.
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Sheba. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to cast alongside the pair of you. And I'm sure we have many more exciting moments to come. But yes, like you said, 17 UTC, don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a few hours to bring you some incredible hype matches to decide which team is going to bring home the World Cup trophy. Thank you so much for joining us. and we shall see you again at 17 UTC for the map pool showcase. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.